Hello, hello, my friends. It is Aldo, and welcome back to the Knights of the Nerd Republic. You know what to do, and stay profitable.
The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things about the galaxy far, far away. This is a Nerd Academy Live, and holy fucking shit. What an episode. A real fun, slow burn character study stuff going on. We're already getting guests popping in the live chat. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking all about this episode, a couple bits of sizzle and promo and housekeeping up top. This Friday, the next full episode review, that'll be a lot more thoughtful, a lot less, oh my God, coming off the immediate aftershocks of the episode. We'll be joined by friend of the show, Alden Diaz, to talk all about this episode, the themes, all that good stuff. But tonight is just going to be a nice, crisp decompression session. And I am not alone, so we're going to get some folks in this chat right now. We are joined by host of Page Turners They Were Not, Brennan Mystical Mar himself.
Hello, dude.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, my word. I'm still processing.
Same.
Oh, my word. This is a lot. Ooh.
I gotta say, I am ready to I'm already ready to rewatch the episode. Because if I'm being honest, my biggest issue coming out of the episode, and it's not even an issue with the episode, just like the way it ends, I'm still in such shock from that ending that I kind of forgot all of the other important themes from the episode, with the exception of one thing which we will be talking about.
I think I know what that is.
Oh, yes, indeed. But we are not alone. It is not just the two of us. We got a handful of people coming through. We also got $10 patron Ray Clausen coming by. What's going on, Ray?
Hey guys, how you doing? That was an amazing episode. Oh my
gosh, the Basil Punch. There we go.
I had to think of a name real quick because
I mean, my word.
I love all the factions cropping up. We also have host of Honest to Claude, Eric Elliott himself.
Heck.
What's going on, bud?
I gotta get you on my channel one day.
You do. You shoot me.
Like sitting down talking about Star Wars together, not compiling little clips and snippets of like the SS tier joke. None of that.
Well, you bring me in whenever you like, and I will be there. My ass will be in a seat. And we got one last panelist, the unofficial co-host of these live talkbacks. It is Eli from Star Wars Galaxy.
I see how it is bringing your unofficial co-host in last. But anyway, what's going on, everybody?
You gotta save the best for last. R.I.P. Kalnaka, you did absolutely nothing. Shouts out to Savage Press Enjoyer.
We better get him in the flashback episode.
We will.
Get flashback, and we're getting.
Someone has to give Corbin the scar.
We'll get him in the flashback. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get him in the flashback, and also there's the Kevin Scott comics. So I think we'll be fed with Kalnaka.
We will
stuff,
be.
But yeah,
we will be. I will say, I've done my best to avoid as much marketing as possible.
Yeah,
I watched the trailer we got on May the 4th once, and granted, I was also at a con while I watched it, so I did not retain much of that trailer.
I watched the teaser like 2 or 3 times, and that was it.
I watched the teaser more times than I can count, but that was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
While I was trying to make the thumbnail for the live stream and Google searched Kelnaka, I did start to piece something together about how we will see him down the road in the flashback. But we are gonna go round table here. Brennan, how are you feeling coming out of this episode?
Oof. Give me the next episode now. That's what I say. No, I mean, that was great, and there's a lot to unpack in that episode.
There is.
Short but sweet.
It's like, whoa. You have this factionalism in the Jedi. You have all that stuff going on. You've got, the weird Basil, who's awesome.
Love Basil. Love Basil.
You got this weird stuff with May, and it's like, well, is she being truthful to Chimera, or is she making it up, or what's going on there? And
I'm excited to discuss that. That.
Chimera seems, as the kids say, sus.
Chimera's Darth Teeth. I think that's pretty dead to rights at this point.
Yeah.
At the very end of the episode, like just as the credits rolled, my girlfriend and I, who I think is in the chat, my monitor's further away from me than normal. Yes, there she is. Hi, honey. We finished the episode and immediately started rewinding it and try doing a frame by frame on Darth Teeth.
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, there's this bit in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, where Chimera gives this really diabolical smile. Like he's up to something.
I really hope it's not him, but like I think it's headed there.
We got a comment from Woodsy. I hate whatever the fuck was wrapped around the trees.
Yes. The Umbra Moths. The Umbra Moth. Brought with subtitles on.
Eli, I love how Eli's already getting ready to torment us EC players.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100. Literally, I said out loud as I was watching this with my parents, I'm like, that's going in the database.
It's going in the database.
I was going to say, which sexual tension? I wonder if she's talking about.
Chimera with May.
Yeah, there's a little bit. There's a
little sultry stuff there. Ray, how are you feeling coming out of the episode, bud?
The first emotion I felt was anger because I'm like, I want more. Like,
yeah.
And also fear because that scene with Darth Teeth floating behind OSHA was like the scariest thing I've seen in Star Wars.
Yes.
Like, give me chills.
Hey, you can see me now.
What'd you say?
You can see me now. I turned my light up brighter.
Oh, hell yeah. No, absolutely, Ray. Like, one of the things that really got me with that, and it's something about the way that canon has given a lot of the Sith Lords like a horror monster moment. Obviously our minds all go to the Darth Vader hallway scene that feels very Jason Voorhees. Like, it is just this unstoppable force of death marching towards you that you cannot stop, that will kill you. Absolutely terrifying. You get Darth Maul's hallway scene in the finale of the Clone Wars, where he's just, he's just ripping everything off the wall.
Or although I would say Duel of the Fates is more Maul's monster scene than that, but that's just me.
Well, I just mean in terms of like them just feeling like a supernatural being of fucking death. Like that, like Maul is incredibly intimidating there, but it does feel like a fair fight, as opposed to Vader with the rebels in the corridor.
I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
So, and I love how in both of those instances, and I say this very much as like a horror layman who knows most of like the horror deep lore I know is secondhand, but again, there's that Jason Voorhees, like nothing you can do can stop this thing. Where with that moment with Darth Teeth, where he's lurking in the back and he takes a step off of that little ledge and levitates down like Count Dooku in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. That there is a elegant, like it feels less like you're fighting a slasher and just that's a fucking demon. That is a demon from hell come to claim your soul. And it is just so unnerving in the best way. In the best way. Love, love, love that bit. And they even give him a little bit of that, like, again, like he doesn't feel human. Like Vader and Maul feel superhuman. This feels unhuman. And that again, like he does that thing where he just effortlessly flicks Osha away with the Force. And then whenever the Jedi bum rush him, that way that they frame that, like the way his head snaps around whenever he then throws them all back, that again, it feels supernatural. It feels unhuman in the way that Darth Teeth is already moving and presents himself. And I just so good. Eric, how are you feeling coming out of the episode? Initial thoughts.
Me still think it's Okie Day.
Okie Day, just Okie Day.
I got my swole Jar Jar here. Yeah,
so you can show Jar Jar off.
Yes, I think it's just all right. Like I think the ending was pretty cool. I think it's the best ending of like the individual episodes we've had so far. But like one of my big struggles with this show is like there's just like stretches where I know what's happening, but I just feel like a little bored. Like I need something else to like make me like really feel like I'm chugging along with the characters. Like maybe I need some humor, or maybe I need some more budding tension between our heroes. It just always feels off to me. But when it hits, I'm just like, okay, now we're starting to cook.
Yeah,
cooking with so often it feels like kind of cold, and like I don't want it to be like I want this to be the best it can be. But I have an alternate name for Darth Teeth. Y'all ever watch Kids Next Door?
Yes.
Night Brace. But you know about Night Brace? This is Darth Night Brace.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a little KND reference there. Eli, how are you feeling coming out?
Feeling very good, Jared. Feeling very good. Stuff is great. Star Wars is broken. Apparently, that's what they say. Star Wars is broken. It's ruined forever. And frankly, I couldn't be happier.
Yep.
Honestly,
this is Star Wars. It's broken. The leg is off. Jar Jar.
Yep. It'll never be fixed. It's ruined. It's horrible, and I can't be happier. Look, it's an adventure with Jedi.
It's all the minorities' fault.
It's an adventure with Jedi doing Jedi things. You're gonna tell me to hate that? No, of course not. And I'm gonna blast. Jared, we'll talk later about your choice of name here, because as I was thinking after I revealed Jared the existence of our good friend in the episode, I was thinking about some stuff. I was thinking about some stuff posted, like a thread posted by a friend of this show, sort of, Mr. Alden Diaz.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh yeah, that guy.
And I was thinking about like something he said in conjunction with all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, if this show is making the Jedi look bad, it makes the Jedi look bad, or like look worse. It makes the Jedi look worse, and that includes Mr. Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Okay, all right.
Wait, was that actually Ki-Adi-Mundi, or was it just the same?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It's Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Wow.
Okay. We're gonna press pause. Everybody's gonna press pause for a minute because Eli woke up the dragon. And I'm gonna put y'all on game real quick. And I'm gonna full screen myself, and then I'm gonna hand the floor back to everybody else.
Got some thoughts.
Okay. Now here's my thing. Here's my issue. We have spent years as a fandom shitting on Jedi Master Ki-Adi-Mundi, a dedicated, noble, heroic Jedi Master, whom gets all this shit from the woke mob because he has like 8 wives. Well, that's just his culture, but that's beside the point. Everyone's like, ooh, Coyote Mundi's mean to this child. Ooh, Coyote Mundi is an arrogant prick. Everybody's talking all this shit about Coyote Mundi and how he's a part of the problem. Even people I look up to and respect to the end of time, like Joseph Scrimshaw himself, put this devil on Coyote Mundi's name. And I am here to look everybody in the eye and say that while the heroic Vernestra Rowe, Padawan of Stellan Geos, while she is actively trying to do a fucking cover-up so that the galaxy does not know that the Sith are at large, the Dark Lords of the Sith have returned and are ready to fuck shit up, and there's already a Jedi body count attached to it. While she is trying to sweep this under the rug, who is the voice of reason? Who says we got to talk to the council? Who's trying to be the fucking adult in the room? Coyote Mundi. Because he always has been, and he always will be. And you motherfuckers do not deserve my cone-headed fucking goat, okay? Y'all don't deserve the Syrian savant in these streets. Y'all don't deserve him. And you guys all owe Coyote Mundi a goddamn apology.
Okay, Boomer.
You all owe Coyote Mundi an apology. What's up, Eric?
Professor Jarod, Coyote Mundi has committed ethnic cleansing against Geonosians.
What was that?
Coyote Mundi has committed ethnic cleansing against Geonosians.
Well, didn't the Empire do that?
No, he just used a flamethrower while fighting a bunch of Geonosians.
And that wasn't him. I'm not. I want to play pedantics here, but that was the clone. I mean, it was under his orders. That's totally fine to say, but like,
Wait.
Eli, we are not splitting those hairs.
Oh, wait. Are you gonna say like, oh, well, you know, Hitler didn't actually kill any Jews himself?
No.
He was all.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't. He's the one that gave the order.
All right. We're off to a great start tonight, everybody. It was a great show.
Mhm.
Wow.
But yes, no, I understand your point, and also, but like, I think that was just like a colony of Geonosians. Like, I don't think that was all of them, right? Was
They
it all
got
of them?
ambushed in a cave, and he said, "Bring out the flamethrowers." I mean,
Yeah.
Is it a tactic I would have suggested? No.
The anti-Geonosophobia.
I'm not saying what he did was justified. I'm saying that that in Rebels they made it extremely clear that the Empire was the one that did the genocide.
He did an
Okay, but he just did like a little sample size, a little appetizer before we got to the main meal of eradicating almost everyone except for Click Clack.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the Jedi, I'm willing to bet you the Jedi have done absolutely.
I'm sorry. He just did a pogrom. I'm sorry. I don't want to, get that wrong. I'm sorry I offended, the Coyote Mundi stands.
Well, I remain offended, but I'm used to it at this point. But no, using my half joking rant about how Coyote Mundi deserves better from y'all. Eric, I'll throw to you first. Is going to try to keep things moving here. How are we feeling about the way Vernestra's handling this situation here?
Oh boy.
I think her decision is going to get people killed. Like her own Jedi that she's supposed to like keep an eye out for. Her decision is going to cause so many deaths, and is the reason why like so many Jedi going forward are going to think, oh, the Jedi are still extinct because the Jedi are pulling those fucking lightsabers and clapping people. And he's like, well, like information doesn't come out. Like, I wonder why. Because this system is now like we're seeing the early stages of it truly decaying of the institution of the Jedi Order.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you entirely. I think I said to Taylor while we were watching the episode, because she's not read the High Republic books, but I'm sitting here and I'm like ready to see how Vernestra handles herself in this situation, and to hear her knee-jerk idea be, oh well, we have to cover it up, we can't let word get out. I was deeply disappointed in her. This is
I think
this is a problem and it needs to be handled. And I will again say, the fact that Yoda doesn't know, I don't fucking care that nobody didn't tell him. Where the fuck is Yoda? The man is asleep at the wheel.
He's on vacation.
He tends to do that a lot in this era. I wish he would have been more locked in to see all the heroics of the Jedi.
He's young. He's still trying to figure himself out. Maybe he's going out to bars. Like, he's still young-ish.
I think Vernestra is doing.
Jarod. I see how it is.
I think Vernestra is doing what a lot of people do when they get older. They get kind of, they get a little bit, more conservative as they get older. Or they
become more sure of themselves.
They lose some of their youthful idealism, and maybe become more set in their ways. And
absolutely.
And I think that there's some stuff in the recent High Republic books that would suggest that Vernestra has learned her lesson about, or at least learned a lesson.
Yeah.
That revealing the truth, at least in her mind, isn't always the right thing. I think that, it's just one of those things that comes with getting old.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it's a good arc for her. Like, again, I like it. I'm not criticizing its fidelity. Because everything you said is right, Brennan. I agree with you completely, and I think it makes her choices here more fascinating. And dear friend of mine, Ange here, was saying, I hate to see Vern so caught up in the politics of it all. Like, it really is disappointing. Like, I don't want to play that card, but there was a part of me that wants to like grab her by the shoulders and shake her and be like, Stellan would be disgusted with you.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, like I don't want to cast the gauntlet with Vern here like that, but goddamn, Stellan Gios would be appalled by this fucking situation.
Yeah.
There's a like I wouldn't go so far as to call May a dark Jedi quite yet, because it doesn't seem like she is in that like realm of understanding the Jedi arts but applying them with the dark side lens or whatever. But like there's a Jedi killer on the fucking loose who is aware of their tactics, who is able to use the Jedi credo against them. And there's 2 dead already who's evading capture, who, Sol was able to overcome May, but she made Sol work for it still a little bit. Imagine how potent she would be if there was not I gotta try to not kill him with a weapon, at least at first. Like, there is a legitimate threat here with the bigger threat of the Master, and Vernestra cannot shirk the responsibility that she's right about. There's something bigger here. There's a bigger fish in the pond that we can't see right now. It's right in front of her, and she's right about all that. And the fact that she is not saying something, it makes her derelict in her fucking duties. And I'm so disappointed in her. Just like you were saying, just like when Angie said, like, that breaks my motherfucking heart to see her just doing the worst that the Jedi could offer in this era. Truly disappointing. Ray, Eric, what are you going to say, bud?
You know why there's a fish in a bigger pond when it comes to Vanessa Rowe?
What's that?
Because her last name is Rowe.
Oh, God damn it. Why'd you have to hit me like that?
I will say, and I'm not trying to like ardently defend Vernestra here. I'm just saying, and I think this is something that I look forward to seeing more, and I think we're absolutely going to get, which is that you say that, and I don't think you're wrong. You also don't know what she's been through. It's been 100 years.
Sure. I'll give you that. And as Leslie Headland said, and as High Republic readers know, Vernestra has been through some shit. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she has a responsibility as a Jedi Master.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying that she doesn't. I'm just saying that, like, you can't like just toss it off. Who does she think she is? Well, she's an accomplished Jedi Master. That's who she thinks she is.
Yeah.
I have a question about Vernestra. I really haven't dived much into the books when it comes to this era. Um, do we do we know when she dies?
We do not. No,
Nope.
no. I mean, because she's still
Okay.
alive here. So
Yeah.
the
We didn't
books
know
are a
Mary
couple-
Allens lived this long.
Apparently they do. Apparently she's the one that ages super gracefully while Barris Offee doesn't.
Mary Allens age well, Saran's age well. We're finding
But
out that
Barris Offee, like she aged quite a bit in like 10 to 15 years.
yeah.
She
Well,
has 100 years. She looks exactly the same.
well, I will say that Barris was we don't know exactly how long she was on that snow planet, and I'm not sure like what she was having to do. Like Vernestra, I gather for the last like 100 years has mostly been chilling.
Maybe Vernestra is just like let's say Mary Islands do live a long time, but in general, but Vernestra is like the J-Lo of the alien race.
Real quick, I want to highlight some comments here before we keep talking about the Jedi political quagmire stuff. Going back to the Coyote Mundi slander will not be tolerated in this chat anymore, especially after tonight. Especially with shit like Coyote Mundi is basically Drake.
Love the next one.
And I know, and I'm so baby. Why he's
no,
like
the one after that.
And the one after that.
BBL Mundi. BBL Mundi.
Man,
Oh,
y'all.
my word.
Wait. If Coyote Mundi is supposed to be Drake, how old are his wives?
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Oh man, you're Eric is on one tonight. We had over Savaggio Pressajoy. Yoba's probably sucking toes like he does
What
in the
the
car.
heck?
I don't remember that one.
That was a viral panel that was floating around this week. And then we got over from Angie. I will say Vernestra did point out that the council would be obligated to tell the Senate, and I do get money to keep it in house. And that is valid.
Yeah.
And again, the senatorial encroachment, I do think would be a real
lack
thing.
of separation of church and state.
Yeah. I think that there would.
Too much.
I do think the Senate would over-involve themselves, but again, if we think that there's a dark side force sect at large, I can't blame them. And I do think the Senate has a right to know what's going on. And again, this is one of those moments of like the hypocrisy of the Jedi. The Jedi want to use the the Republic law does dictate that the Jedi Order does get first pickings at all Force-sensitive children. So we like when the Republic is involved when the rules benefit them, when the law benefits them. But when the Jedi go, oh, we might end up with egg on our face, we might end up looking like a damn fool out here. Does the Senator really need to know? Or does the Senate really need to know? Does the Chancellor really need to know? Does the Jedi Council really need to know? Like, you got to pick a team, y'all. Y'all got to pick a team. The Order needs to pick a team. And I know that's the difference between Indara making a call and Vernestra making a call, but the criticism still stands.
Y'all need to be on the same page about this.
Yeah, y'all need to keep that energy. If it is, we get first picking at the Force-sensitive children of the galaxy, even in worlds outside of the Republic's jurisdiction. If we have that energy now, the Council and the Senate need to fucking know that there's a Sith apprentice on the loose. I'm just saying.
Well, also, of course, and that transfers over to TPM very nicely, where
of course,
where Qui-Gon sees this magical kid, and he's like, okay, no question, we're gonna bring him to become a Jedi. And then obviously Anakin and his mother asked the sensible question that anybody else would ask. Hey, what about all the people who are enslaved here?
Yeah.
Don't you want to do something about that? That's against Republic law, isn't it? And Qui-Gon's like, not our problem. Not our problem.
I think that's an uncharitable interpretation of Qui-Gon's stance on that. I think had Qui-Gon lived past the Naboo crisis, he probably would have been like, okay, so now that all that's sorted out,
yes,
what the fuck is going on Tatooine?
I agree with you on that. Actually, I do agree with that. Qui-Gon, had he lived, might have looked into that. But here's the thing: and of course Qui-Gon, as we know, was one of the good ones of that era. So like I do think he would have looked into it. But if any other Jedi would have been in that, would have been in his place from the era, and frankly, subsequently, not one of them did. Padme did, but not one of the other Jedi did.
No,
So,
you're absolutely right. Yeah, because it was always on our jurisdiction, and again, that's that energy that I want to see them reciprocate across the board. I do want to bring up another very funny comment from Ange. They're on a roll tonight. They said, "But Jarod, what are the Jedi without their overinflated hubris?" I don't have a retort for you, and I wish I did. And that's why
in that era, in that era, nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to run, guys, but I thought I would hop in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brennan. Be sure to give your pluggables on your way out.
Yes. You can find me on Page Turners They Were Not, on YouTube, where we get your podcasts. And you can follow me on X at Brennan Mystical, where I have much to say.
That you do, buddy. It's awesome having you on. Nice seeing you a couple weeks in a row here. So you have a good rest of your night, bud.
All right, you too. Bye, guys.
Later. Ray, we've been going for a minute. Sorry, what were you going to say, Eric?
Okay. You say you didn't have an explanation for the question that was posed with the hubris. I'm starting to think AJAB. All Jedi are bastards.
It is. I refuse to let it be that simple. I refuse to let it be that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm
Eric,
sorry.
It's a good joke. It's a good joke, and I don't want to take the wind out of your joke, man. But I refuse to let it be that simple. I refuse.
To me, it's just a joke. Like I'm not gonna.
I
fucking love Luke Skywalker. Like, come on.
Yeah, of course, we all do. Yeah. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
It's one of those things where I think it's, and like obviously I know you don't mean it in that way, but I think a lot of people see the Jedi bad, the Jedi not doing as great as they could be doing in this era, and automatically go, okay, Jedi bad.
Yeah.
Which is just a ridiculous thing to like, because, the only problem with the Jedi is that they're not living up to their ideals. Their ideals are good, and they're not living up to them.
If you think that all Jedi are bad, you're taking on the ideas of Darth Vader when he was choking his wife. Like, let's keep the buck. That dude lost his goddamn mind.
That's very true. My biggest issue with the Jedi are bad, the Jedi are bad, period, stance, is that I think there is a very irony poisoned stance there that insists that any institution that does not live up to its mandate is inherently bad, and that there is in my opinion, underdeveloped and overly simplified stance to just kind of glaze over what the Jedi and their failings represent, and why the Jedi failing is important, because it shows, again, because Star Wars as a franchise is generational for us in the real world, but also is a generational story within the text, that the whole point is that each generation of our heroes gets to look backwards and go, this is how the old heads fucked up. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I need to do better. And then following the story of them either succeeding or failing in that. It is Luke looking backwards to the Jedi that we're familiar with from the prequels going, okay, I think I know what they fucked up, getting it wrong, figuring it out, and setting up the table for Rey to then clean up that fucking mistake. Like, and that's why I think that the Jedi not quite living up to what they could be is important. And I think it's also a very important element to Lucas's political allegory about the way that our systems of power have a tendency to kind of reach this critical mass of, like the end of history, stupid shit like that okay, we've done it, we've succeeded, we can rest on our laurels. And in that time where governments and hierarchies and institutions go, okay, we're done, we can kind of coast from here on out, that is when they fall apart at the fucking seams, and there are true evils that creep in and corrupt those systems from inside out. It is Nazi Germany, it is the American Empire. That is what that is so important to that. And again, Eric, your joke is very funny, and I don't want to take the wind out of those sails. But that is but it is an analysis I see in earnest all the time, and it fucking infuriates me.
Yeah,
me too.
like a lot of it's from like dupe bros that like just like want to be like casually like nihilistic. You're just like, yo, man, like it's all bad, man. It's like,
you just
like there's nuance.
Just say you want to be different. Just say you want to be different.
Yeah, it's the
Like,
Marva Andor should have said fuck. Like, you're so brave, you're so clever. Thank you.
Yes, it is exactly that.
Mm.
It is absolutely Marva and Andor should have said fuck, because that would have absolutely added to the moment and not like completely stunted. But anyway, yeah, it's completely stunted what the weight of a powerful moment in that episode.
Yeah, and like, I'm not trying to diss people that like this movie, but you already know that kind of person I'm describing. Their favorite Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith, and they don't look at it super critically at all. It's like, it's the dark one. It's the sad one.
We all know them. We all know them.
Sensational. And that's his word.
I love that. Fucking love.
It's my favorite clip. It's my favorite clip on the deck.
It's so versatile.
Ray, we've been going for a minute. How are you feeling about the Jedi's handling of this situation, namely Vernestra Rowe?
I feel very much to quote another Star Wars thing. Like this is obviously the decision that sparks the fire that eventually will burn the Jedi down, like with Order 66 eventually. But I wanted to say one of the criticisms I did have of the Jedi. I feel like they're being like, I'm getting like a colonist kind of vibe from the Jedi. Like, we're the only ones who get in it, define like what the people's relationship with the Force is. And that's really my biggest criticism of the Jedi in this. Like, going around to other planets and telling other people how to use the Force. But
no, I think there's a legitimate. I think that, again, I think this is where the way that real world politics are baked into Star Wars, I think creates a very interesting, like, diegetic argument within the text. Because I do think there is, because again, I see a lot of people do the Jedi are colonizers thing, and take it to the extreme of the Jedi bad. And again, I think you can weigh like what the Jedi are meant to represent, what their good intentions are meant to represent, and also balance that with more of the Republic kind of has a benign, lethargic, I don't want to say evil, but like apathy towards a lot of the galaxy. But no, I do think there was a little bit of that strain there. I think, and obviously, Ray, I'm not ascribing that like flawed version of that criticism onto you, because I hear what you're saying. But I do think it's an interesting tightrope to walk, and it's what I think is so good about this show is that for me, I spent last week's talk back and last week's main like review episode talking about how on my first watch of Destiny, I really wanted there to be something exonerating for the Jedi. I really, really wanted. I kind of took that episode at face value for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's why
What were you saying, bud?
No, I was just gonna say exactly. Like, I'm not saying they're obviously not all bad, but like,
of course, yeah.
Just like it's a little bit more complex.
Yeah. That complexity is beautiful. And Eric, let me finish this thought, and I'll throw it to you, bud. That I wanted there to just be something to tell me that the Jedi did not lash out at the witches. I needed that. And then after like 5-10 minutes of thinking, I'm like, we didn't see what happened. And those bodies weren't burned. Like, at least a few of them were killed with a lightsaber. and that acceptance that, like, the Jedi aren't infallible. I think it's something that goes towards the beauty of The Last Jedi, that for as much of the talk about Luke hates the Jedi now and da 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 da, and again, all these people who get paid to misunderstand Star Wars, the people who professionally don't get Star Wars,
Crazy how now that you
may,
can have a job about that.
yeah, I know. The way that they straw man Luke's argument in The Last Jedi and conveniently forget when Luke ends the movie by saying, "Oh, by the way, I was wrong."
Mhm.
Yep.
Is
That
at
would
that
not be the last
moment
of
When
the
he
Jedi.
and then when he doubles down in the next movie and says, "Hey, remember that I was wrong thing that I said? Remember that I said that?"
yeah, I just I want that moment in this show so badly for the end statement to be, the Jedi are flawed, but they have the best, in air quotes for lack of a better word, Force ideology and best worldview for the galaxy,
That they're
and I
worth
need
fighting
that,
for.
and that they're worth fighting for. Thank you. And I think there's a part of me that needs that so badly, that I've put on my my Jedi blinders, and I don't know, maybe it's a weird quirk about me as a fan, that I am so quick to lecture the Jedi who are in power, but will bend over backwards to defend the Jedi ideology. I don't know what that says about me, but Eric, what were you going to?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric.
I was going to say that I do think that there is some merit to the colonizer question when it comes to Jedi in this series, but I see it less of like, it's not really like the conquistadors coming to Central America. It's more like how the Portuguese went to Japan and they were just like, oh, here's Catholicism. Isn't this like nifty? And some Japanese are like, no, and some of them were like really cool with it. And they were trying to impose more of their own culture, but it's unclear if they were actually trying to like take over the island, because they probably thought it's going to be too much of a hassle.
Yeah.
Like they see how intimidating like their weaponry and then their samurais are. It's like we have enough states across the planet that we've taken. We don't need to take this one. So
Yeah.
when eventually they get kicked out, they leave.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. That is a very good point. Eli, what were you going to say?
I think that your idea about like having the thesis statement be about like the Jedi are good anyway, like despite their faults, the Jedi are capital G good. I think first of all, I think there's a decent chance that it goes back to that. And second of all, I think that there is a and when we talked about this last week, I'm pretty sure. And let me tell you, when you said you were worried about this last week, you were on the money. You were absolutely on the money. You said you were worried people were going to talk about shit. They started talking about that shit next day. Not that no offense, not that you're some kind of like genius predictor, just that the signs are that fucking clear.
Damn. Eli was like, "Oh wait, shit! I came brushed to saying something nice about Jarod. We got to walk that back."
Anyway,
he's on Big Chungus' payroll. Anyway,
yeah. No. But so I think you're worried, and this is completely fair because this is something that I'd be worried about too. I think you're worried about people, as they are want to do, who don't understand Star Wars. Because here's the thing. Here's my thing that I'm trying to tell myself, because I'm struggling with this the same way you are. Even if they don't say that, even if they don't wrap it up, it's still true. Like,
yeah,
like it's not our responsibility to unfortunately, like people are stupid and they're gonna do what they're gonna do, but like it's not our responsibility to state that like what's clearly there. You know what I mean? Like just because people are going to take away like and it's not their job either. That's what I was gonna say. It's not Leslie Headland's job to constantly remind people, hey, the Jedi are good.
Not. Yeah, I don't necessarily need the show to do it. It's just like
no,
it's
and I'm not
for
saying
me in my spirit, like I as a fan need the Jedi to be exonerated, even though I know that's not the point of the fucking show. And that I just have
No, I know, and maybe I was wrong about like the exact source motivation, but like for me, there's like if they don't because for me, my worry was, well, if they don't wrap it up, like if they don't exonerate the Jedi at least a little bit, then people are going to run around. I'm going to summon Alden Diaz right now with impunity, and say Jedi bad, Jedi bad, Jedi bad. When we know the truth is a lot more nuanced and a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah.
But like again, that's not on us or on the creators. That's on the people who don't understand nuance.
Yeah, for the people whose bottom line relies on a lack of understanding. I
was also gonna say that we're also seeing the Jedi at a stage that we've never seen them before. Or like we've seen High Republic, but for those of us who just like watch the movies and shows, like we've never seen the Jedi at this stage before. So I think a lot of these criticisms, even like my own, are I think just coming from not seeing the Jedi acting this way before.
Yeah, I think it makes. I think that because we are still in that golden age with the High Republic, we are witnessing a dynamic with the Jedi that is very new, in that we have almost like a 50-50 split of people who feel like prequel era Jedi and people who feel like they are fresh out of Light of the Jedi. Is that for every Jekki, for every soul, there is a Yord and a Vernestra. And I say that loving all of those characters very much. That for every instance of, Vernestra pumping the brakes really hard on any type of, hey, there might need to be some oversight here, you have Soul, who is allowing this moment to be an emotional catharsis and opportunity to heal. That there is an understanding of both the stakes, but also understanding that like the personal stakes aside from the galactic ones, and I know somewhere in the chat here, Taylor's like, yes, but what about Jekki and Yord? I think I found it. Yeah. Thoughts on Yord though. And then my baby Basil. I love Yord, but there is that sternness that is misplaced. And I know that two of my favorite Jedi are the ones that everybody loves to shit on in Mace Windu and Coyote Mundi. And it is in that cocksureness that they have, that they are so convinced of their correctness by virtue of them being Jedi, that we see that with Yord. We see Yord underestimating Osha so much, talking down to her, that even though I know his heart's in the right place, I know that Yord does not mean a word of disdain towards Osha, but because there is that, well, I'm a Jedi Knight and therefore I'm right, idea is just so fucking wormed into his head. He can't help but be like, you're gonna give that back, right?
It's
like,
somebody who knows, like it's somebody who is so well versed in the letter of the law that they forget about the whole concept of the spirit of the law. Like Yord is so
know the boss.
Thanks.
Eli spit.
Yord is somebody who knows back to front the letter of the law, but he kind of forgets about the spirit of the law. So basically, like Yord, if like in the Jedi Code, and God, now I'm just hoping like, imagine if we get, this would be the nerdiest fucking book ever. Imagine if we get a book with the Jedi Code in it. Like literally just a book of the Jedi Code.
Yeah.
Because we hear it talked about all the time. Imagine if we get that.
And not just the Jedi Code as in like the mantra. Like here is like the
the
book.
Jedi Constitution. Like literally the Jedi Constitution.
Like Jedi bylaws. Not how to win at trivia by Bronson M. Ulysses, but the Jedi bylaws.
Yes, literally. I would buy that book for everybody I fucking know. I swear to God, I would. But you know, Yord knows that thing back to front. But he doesn't know what it means. He doesn't know, like he can tell you that a Jedi in X situation, a Jedi must do Y. But he doesn't understand as clearly that to be a Jedi means to protect all life. To be a Jedi means to follow your instincts and trust your instincts and to be adaptive and to trust only in the Force. And those like greater precepts that Obi-Wan and Yoda taught us in the original trilogy when we were learning all of this for ourselves.
Yes. Taylor, that is a great take. I do love that.
What's the thing? My screen is too small.
He's just a baby boy. He keeps getting overlooked for a girl who gave up everything, and that he gave everything for, and she still doesn't want to be here while he's giving everything to be here. Which I do think is valuable. You know, I do think there is a little bit of imposter syndrome with Yord that I do think is fascinating. And you know, I think it's a good transition to how I want to wrap this stream up. Is that I think the stakes are really high at the end of this episode. I don't mean this in a glib way. I am not getting my hopes up that we're going to see the Darth Teeth fight next week. I don't think we're getting it. I mean, not necessarily I don't think we're getting it. I am mentally, because I'm so excited for it, for unsurprising reasons. Because I'm so excited for it, there's a part of me that's like mentally shoring myself up for
like another flashback.
To see May's side of that night. To see May's side of that night. And maybe we'll get it towards the end. I don't know. But
I feel like just the rhythm of how the show's set up, and who knows, it could totally like the pacing has and probably will surprise me later. But like having two elements of having two episodes of the A story and then a flashback.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me think that we might do that again.
Okay. Wait, however it shakes out, I'm here for it. I just am preparing, but because we know we're on the cusp. Well, before I jump into that, one more comment from Taylor. The constant reminder that we were younglings, that just brings me back to him giving everything to try to be better and be the best because of the need to do that. And he sees this girl,
gifted and talented,
and talented to be on anything he can achieve, and has to protect her. Well, he has done everything to be the best. Absolutely, and I think that would be
incredibly insightful.
I think that's very insightful, and I think it opens up a really interesting avenue for those conversations about, like they talk about it in Ahsoka with Sabine, that like her aptitude with the Force is not very impressive. So like maybe Yord is in a similar boat where it's like, yeah, like it is the maxim we talk about all the time on the Verse series. It is raw power versus skill, talent versus skill. That ability to just kind of flip a switch and move a starship versus I give myself a nosebleed trying to lift rocks, and how that second person whose nose is bleeding to lift rocks will eventually get to that starship place. But some people are just out the gate moving ships. But I think that will bring us to an interesting place. I think Yord, as excited as I am to see Soul in combat, as excited as I am to see Darth Teeth get in the fucking weeds here, I am very excited to see how Yord handles himself on the battlefield, because cards on the table, I don't think a lot of those Jedi are making it out. I think there's a reason why they padded that strike force with a lot of unnamed Jedi.
Oh yeah. I straight up said like 5 minutes before the end, to my parents when I was watching it with them. I'm like, you see all those Jedi that I didn't give a name to? Don't get used to them.
Well, I think there's that, so I think they're going to be fodder for Darth Teeth. But if we see a decent amount of Jedi fall against Darth Teeth in this initial confrontation, I am very excited to see how that affects Yord.
Yeah.
I am very excited to see how Yord reacts to the Sith are back. I want to see how he reacts to, holy shit, we got jumped by a Sith and I couldn't do shit. I am very excited to see how that affects him, and if there is and how that affects his sense of duty with everything that Taylor was saying, which is, as you said, is very insightful and I think is very, very clever. Is that like I think losing the fight to Darth Teeth is gonna fuck Yord up for life if he survives.
I was gonna say if he survives, because Yord, honestly, on the list of main characters this season who have a big old death mark on their back, I'd say Yord is number 1, actually, for me, probably.
I think it would be really heartbreaking to take out the most, again, not the most dedicated, and because everybody is giving their lives to the Jedi Order, but the most I am the Jedi Knight of the Republic, are in my robes, to see that guy take a lightsaber through the heart is gonna be fucking devastating.
Yeah, I think it is unfortunately more likely than not to happen, and I say that again, not because I hate Yord or anything like that, although
I'm sorry.
Although anyway,
oh god, Checkie's gonna be so fucked up by that too.
She's gonna do what she does, and she's the future, man. That's what she is.
She has the makings of such a good Jedi, man.
She does, doesn't she? She does. But actually, I wanted to talk about another Jedi before we wrap up.
I was just say do that, and then I think we're gonna do like a 3, 2, 1. Who do we think Darth Teeth is? But talk your shit.
Yeah. Let's talk about Master first of all. Master Ki-Adi-Mundi. So you're telling me that he was at least tangentially involved with this Darth Teeth shit. That he was even a Jedi Master that was allowed to be on, as I've heard people call it on Twitter, the Middle Management Council. By this point. And then we look at the Phantom Menace. And then Qui-Gon says, a respected, if, they think he's a little crazy, but he is respected. A respected Jedi Master says, hey, there's a Sith Lord out there. And Ki-Adi-Mundi's first response is, and I quote, impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennia.
Maybe, man, but again, if they cover this shit up, yes,
and no, and that was my and a lot of other people's theories before this. But here's the thing: he knows about it. He's at least tangentially involved with it, and I do think they cover it up. I just think we were wrong about what side of the equation he was on.
If you're saying
Ki-Adi-Mundi can't cover up, that goddamn dickhead, he can't fit. There's no way
what I'm trying to say is, I think this creates a decent argument that Ki-Adi-Mundi in the Phantom Menace was trying to persuade himself about the Sith as much as he was trying to persuade everybody else.
That there's an element of tragedy to that. I thought, see, Eli, I'm glad I haven't corrupted you fully yet, because I thought you were about to go the route of the entire Jedi Council knew that there was a Sith on Kofir, and everybody.
No. I just think. I just think that Ki-Adi-Mundi was like. I just think Ki-Adi-Mundi. I thought there could be like a few Jedi at the top who were like, Yeah, no, that was not a Sith. That was like just some dark force user that wasn't a Sith. Trust me, was not a Sith. And secretly are like, shit, maybe that was a Sith, but who knows? We defeated them, they're gone, whatever. Who cares? And I thought that like propaganda for less of a better word would be one imprinted on Chiarimundi. I did not think that he would be one of the imprinters.
Perhaps. I will say, I do think it's very funny that with the crowd that decided they hated this show before it came out, one of the main pieces of evidence that the show was flying in the face of lore or whatever bullshit, one of their main arguments was, but Chiarimundi said, all for him to actually be involved in this whole ordeal.
It's hilarious.
Deeply funny.
It's
like,
deeply
this is
funny.
that moment where I think Leslie Headland is just giggling to herself. You know, like, aw, you guys think you guys think I'm calling Chiarimundi a dumbass?
No,
you figured out the twins.
Chiarimundi knew exactly what was happening.
It's very funny.
It's deeply funny, and it's also deeply funny that we now know that Saurians are added to the long bucket list of
hyper long-lived species.
Hyper long-lived species. The more we learn about this shit, especially with the High Republic, the more it seems like how are humans like this powerful in the galaxy? They live the shortest amount of time.
Because everybody, listen, it's the Chewbacca effect. The humans are everybody else's dog. But no, I did really love this episode. I think we're all in agreement. Chimera is Darth Teeth.
Unfortunately, I agree. I hope it's not. Or here's what I'm hoping. Here's actually what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's sort of a red herring. And here's what I mean. This is, if I were writing the story, here's where I would take it personally. And I think there's a decent chance of this happening. I think the majority of a chance is he's still that Chimera is, but I think it would be more interesting if Chimera was an Acolyte.
You said a what?
Chimera is an Acolyte.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Chimera secretly is trying to vie for the same thing that May is. And so what she sees as help is actually him, like maybe we'll learn some like behind the scenes stuff about him, about how he's actually been subverting her this entire time.
I wouldn't mind that. That was my thing. For a while I didn't want Chimera to be Darth Teeth because it felt too obvious. And I just like the idea that he was, again, they were both vying for the favor of the Dark Lord of the Sith, or the Sith Apprentice. But yeah, no, I do think it's him. I think, like I was saying earlier, Taylor and I were kind of doing like a frame by frame, and Darth Teeth's robe is just basically Chimera's poncho thingy, just shifted around.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, if it is like, what am I gonna say? I at this point I trust Leslie Headland and the writing team enough to where even if Chimera is Darth Teeth, I trust them to do it in a way that will make it feel right. Even if I wouldn't have done it myself.
Again, I think this is I said this before and I'll say it again. I think this is less Murder on the Orient Express and more Knives Out. I think this is much more of a how and why done it than a who. Because so far, this show has very much not given a damn about who done it.
Yeah, because who's been revealed pretty quickly.
Yeah, who has been revealed almost instantly, and the show has decided that
and the major twin thing, which we thought they accidentally spoiled in the marketing, was revealed almost instantly.
Right.
Yeah. Do we have any final thoughts before we bring it on home here?
Yes.
I just saw something that number one Savage Press Enjoyer said. I have one. I agree with it, except for I need to replace one word.
Plagueis.
Yeah. Take out Palpatine, put in Plagueis, and there we go.
I'd mark out. I would. Honey, I'm apologizing in advance. If I hear the name Plagueis, I'm going to be a problem.
We're all gonna be such a like it is going to be like one of those things, and like honestly, this would be really fucking funny. I think for me, because you know what canon species Darth Plagueis is?
Do we have
It's
a
mine.
canon? Is he still immune in canon?
We don't know.
No.
And I think it would
Probably
be
gonna
the
be mine,
funniest.
though.
I think it would be the funniest fucking thing ever for us to do a fade in, and he's still immune, like to try and fake us out. Oh, maybe he's something else. No, he's still immune.
I want him to be, man. That's something I want to keep the same. But yeah, this has been
Wait. Eli, you said you had a final thought, and that was going to get to mine, right?
Oh no, that was it. That was it with the.
Okay. Before I get to my point, is Ray still around? I haven't heard Ray's voice. Wow.
Yeah, Ray joins, and then he just kind of hangs out, man. He's vibing.
Okay, all right.
Ray be
All right.
vibing.
So,
I'm very much a listener.
okay, I just didn't want to like stumble over. You wanted to be able to speak. Okay, so I guess I got thoughts. One is I don't care about Plagueis at all. I'm when I hear Plagueis, I'm flaccid. Two, Jord. I feel like I can say this because I've been diagnosed with it. He sometimes, his bluntness is evocative of what I associate with autism, where they can be very loving, but it's just very straight to the point when speaking to somebody.
I think it's a very valid interpretation.
How did we go this whole time without talking about Basil, the fucking chipmunk sniffing thing? I was hoping he was going to fight, but he didn't. Very weird.
So help me if they kill Basil.
I am so fascinated by Basil only because of one thing that is so incredibly like Jarod, you're gonna say, of course, this is the thing he's fascinated by with Basil. Basil is the species that Leslie Headland was referring to when she was talking about, I'm going to provide I'm going to bring a species from Legends that's never been on screen into canon. This is true. Basil is a Tinnin, a species first introduced, and I love them for this. I deeply, deeply love them for this. Introduced in the novel Han Solo's Revenge by Brian Daley, released in 1979.
Damn, all the way back.
All the way back. It was such a deep cut. They did not have to. They did not have to do this. Yeah. It is so ridiculous that anybody would remember the Brian Daley Han Solo's Revenge novel. But she did, and honestly, my level of respect for that runs so fucking deep. It's truly I expected a more well-known legend species, whatever, not this, but I was expecting something of a Yuuzhan Vong caliber, not the Yuuzhan Vong, but something that a species
something
that was
on that
famous.
Level.
Yes, a species that was famous in Legends or something like that. I did not expect a random creature from a Ryan Daley novel from fucking over 40 years ago. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm going to say something controversial. I never want Yuuzhan Vong to be brought into canon. I want
that's not controversial.
That's not controversial, but that is a bag of cats we don't have time to unpack at this stage of the game.
I agree with you, but we don't have time for this.
I mostly agree with you.
By the way, Jarod,
can you ask the question, Jarod, of who do we think is Darth Teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do I think this will happen? I don't fucking know. It just idea popped in my head. What if Darth Teeth is Vanessa Rowe?
I don't think they would do that.
Unlikely. I think it would be a buck wild choice for Vanestra to turn to the dark side, and I would be sincerely disappointed by that.
And I think that Leslie Headland knows, like look, if you had said literally any other Jedi, like I've seen some stuff with, like Indara is Darth Teeth, or something like, or Torben is Darth Teeth, like that'd be crazy. But what you could do there that you couldn't do with Vern is that these characters, or Vernestra, sorry, I forgot she doesn't like to be called that. What you could do with those characters is they were introduced in this. So
Scotty.
Yeah, what's going on, Scotty? They were introduced in this, so at least you have some cover there. But if you make Vernestra Rowe a Sith Lord,
no, I don't believe it seriously. It's just an idea popped in my head.
No, I mean it's. I mean, hey, everybody is still a suspect until the helmet comes off.
Yeah, I don't
absolutely.
think Torben did, even though like he gained so much guilt that he lost his hairline. Like I don't think it was him.
Oh man. Yeah, what were you gonna say, bud?
It's like I always think, like, I feel like Leslie Headland said this at the beginning, but like, and even if she didn't, I still agree with it. Like, I am trusting Osha and mostly now Soul, but anything any other character says, I am taking with so many grains of salt.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to completely trust Soul as well. It took me a while.
I trusted Soul pretty quickly. My only misgiving about Soul is that he's obviously withholding information, but I don't think he's like directly guilty of anything.
Yeah,
I don't think I am still firmly of the opinion that whenever shit hits the fan on Brendock, he is the only adult in the room who goes after saving these kids instead of trying to have a dick measuring contest.
Oh yeah, I think like obviously just by stuff we've seen, I think the person who did the most wrong on that mission, and it actually makes sense with the story, is the one who did the quote unquote most wrong on Brendock is the one who died first.
Yeah, I mean, Indara clearly was leading that mission, so the buck stops with her.
Yeah, and she was clearly the most aggressive towards the coven of all four of them from what we've seen so far.
That's an interesting one for Bald Ahsoka. Teeth Sith might be another Force sensitive made by the witches that apparently beat Plagueis. The idea of the well, he didn't beat them to the idea of shit, or they didn't. Just
and we don't know cloning,
but that is an interesting idea. Yeah, it's not quite cloning. It's like Plagueis and Palpatine in Legends accidentally pissed off the Force, and then the Force created Anakin. But it is a possibility. And like I said, everything is on the table. Fucking Dara, valid.
I think actually that's one of the smartest decisions. Is not only, hey, we put Trinity in so that we can show how dangerous May is because she just killed Trinity, but also so, this is Carrie-Anne Moss, badass superstar. You wouldn't expect her to be the one doing wrong.
Exactly. Real quick, really good question from Woodsy. Is Bald Ahsoka, or I'm sorry, number one Savage Press enjoyer, is Bald Ahsoka like Shaq T? Yes.
Sensational.
Oh God.
You don't like Shaq T?
No.
Shaq T, baby. Shaq T, baby.
Maybe I'll walk out of here tomorrow and you never see me again. That's really what I want to do.
Anyway, this has been a good
deny the Jedi Order.
What was that?
By the way,
I was doing a bad impression of Shaq.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, guys. Leave the Jedi Order.
Jared, before we end the stream, actually, I did this for a reason. I did this to be a little sneaky. I'm here sitting in front of a planet.
What was that? I didn't hear what you said.
I'm doing this to be a bit. I did this to be a bit cheeky, but I'm sitting here in front of a picture of a planet.
What planet is it?
What planet is it, Jared? What planet is it?
I fucking hate you, Jesus Christ. Elfrona in the chat, everybody. Elfrona in the chat.
No, it's
Elfrona's in the chat.
It's not Elfrona. It's not Elfrona.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
Oh, I thought
Which
you
one
were
is it?
Saria.
Gone.
What?
Oh God,
It's Saria.
Oh, that's Saria. I don't know, man. I'm used to the one fucking joke. I'm used to the one fucking joke. Saria's in the chat, everybody. Saria's in the chat.
No. I was just doing Saria. I wonder, because it's still fucking crazy to me that Ki-Adi-Mundi was fucking in this episode.
Yeah, the fucking goat. The fucking goat. I got my goat in High Republic robes.
The fucking goat of bad Jedi. Yes.
Okay. All right, do your pluggables, y'all. I'm about to drown in my own sweat. I gotta go to bed.
All right. Well, thank you for having us on. It was a pleasure.
Of course.
You can follow me on Honest to Claude, which is a YouTube channel /podcast. I've had guests from SSW Network and I've had Scotty Holiday, but more importantly, based on numbers of viewage, I have my Star Wars Iceberg conspiracy video, which got to 10,000 views, which I'm thankful to everyone that watched it.
Hell yeah. Go check that out. Go check out Honest to Claude. Absolutely. Go check out everything Eric is doing, y'all. It could have been Terra Sanube. I mean, hey, I wouldn't be opposed to
it should have been Terra Sanube.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Eli. Shut the fuck up. It's Ki-Adi-Mundi, and y'all need to accept it. It's a hot Ki-Adi-Mundi summer.
Dear God, I wish I'd never heard that.
Hot Ki-Adi-Mundi summer. Anyway, Ray, what are your?
They brought
buddy?
that man. They brought Terra Sanube into live action, and they put him behind. They put him in fucking amber. You see what they did to that man?
Mm-hmm.
Least he deserves.
Yeah, you know what they gave Ki-Adi-Mundi? White and gold Republic robes, baby.
Yes, the world is backwards.
No pluggables, but I just wanted to let you know, Jared, that I'm now the boys pilled.
And that is fucking diabolical, baby. Let's go.
I know, I'm a season and a half in.
Not gonna.
Oh. I was like, oh God, I didn't know one of the people was like red pilled or whatever bullshit.
No.
He would have, Scotty. He absolutely would have. Detective Sanube, baby. You never doubt him. Fucking what's his name from Avatar: The Last Airbender? Iroh. Uncle Iroh.
Yes. But anyway, Eli, where can the lovely people find you, bud?
Absolutely. You can find me at Star Wars in the Galaxy. Our show we're watching Star Wars chronologically through. We're currently releasing all of our backlog of episodes talking about Jedi Survivor. This week, we have co-host of this show on our show to talk about Jedi Survivor and an episode we recorded a little while back. Myself, Mr. Connor Chikiti, talking about mostly a guy who just likes to who likes two things: canon lore and repeat number one.
I'm replaying Jedi Survivor right now, and I know I'm in the minority. I really do like Dagan Gera as a villain. I really do. I really love Dagan Gera. I think he's great, and I love everything he represents for the story. But
I like his idea. I will say I like his. I like what he represents, like stuff like that. I just think the execution, but whatever. And I will say this. Actually, I do want to announce this. I feel like this is the perfect show to announce this, which is the Theme Between Themes, our series from 2 years ago. It's coming back this summer with 4 episodes. I'm sitting down with people and talking about whatever Star Wars they want to talk about, collected through whatever through line they want to talk about. And the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I wanted to announce our first guest on A Theme Between Themes for this summer. And it is the guy right over here, the Dark Jedi himself.
The number
So,
one, Coyote Mundi Defender. My theme is going to be why y'all don't know shit about fuck about Coyote Mundi and why he
Dear
is the
God.
greatest Jedi of all time.
Dear God.
Get out of the way, Luke. Get out of the way, Rey. Obi-Wan Kenobi, never heard of the bitch. Coyote Mundi all goddamn day long. I'm kidding. I have no idea what my theme is going to be yet, but
Yeah, but
I will have
but
an answer for that soon.
but yeah, no, and I enabled a dangerous instinct in Jarod the other day because I told him, because in the past all of our theme between themes stuff we've been watching for it has been canon. But I did tell Jarod, I might have told Jarod that he could, if he really wanted to, include like visual media stuff that's from Legends. And I regretted it the moment it exited my mouth, but I can't take it back now, so...
Eli said, Jarod, you could talk about Legends, and then deep in his subconscious, he could hear the Force Unleashed theme.
Dun, 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 dun.
Also, low-key, that theme slaps. But anyway, thank you all so very much for tuning in. Friday, our full review will be out. We're talking with Alden Diaz of Octo Radio, Anytime with Ken and Alden, and Casterly Talk fame. We're going to be chopping it up about this episode. I'm very excited to unpack it with my dear best frenemy, Alden Diaz. So tune in for that on Friday. Very, very excited. But yeah, without any further ado, thank you for everybody who stopped by. If you get here a little late, which it looks like a few people did, be sure to get here about like an hour after the episode drops. We go live for about an hour, hour and a half. The live chat or the link to join the stream
Usually
will be in the chat.
I've seen usually around 10:35 EST.
Yeah, that typically ends up being the window I give myself. But yeah, you guys can come check it out and hang out and chop up the episode and kind of decompress. So thank you everybody who joined. Be sure to catch us on Friday. We're hoping to get some boys talk out here soon to talk about these first few episodes. And yeah, also check out the Pro and Noob podcast, the show where Mitch from Comic Book Cast is taking me through every episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion for the first time. So tune in for that over at the Mitch692 YouTube channel. Ionized Bastards, Star Wars RPG show starring myself, Alden, Jarod from the Bombad Cast, Dan Miller from Broaxium, and DM'd by Michael McCoy over at the All Remaining Systems YouTube channel. We are hoping to record the penultimate episode of Season 2 next week. Schedule's got in the way this time around again. But next week we begin our final push to face off with Vera Doxos and prevent the Doxos revenge from spreading across the galaxy. So, will our heroes survive the season? Tune in to Ionized Bastards.
God, who knows?
And find out.
Sorry about that horn.
Huh?
Sorry about the horn in the background. I lived in the
No,
city.
you're good. You're good. I don't think we can hear it.
No, we didn't
does
hear
a
it,
very
yeah.
good job of isolating background noise. But yeah, no, let me tell y'all, Ionized Bastards, these last two combats, I've taken more damage than I ever have in the show back to back and found myself getting a little nervous. And all I'm going to say is the next time I level up in this game, I might be taking some more defensive feats because your boy has been taking a licking. And it's all been for stupid fucking reasons. I've been bitten by a cyborg Acolyte and nearly bled out from it, and then I just got riddled with fucking blaster bolts. So your boy might need to figure something out to boost my defensive stats. But yeah, thank you all so very much for joining us. Check out our full review over at the channel and on the podcast feed. Check out Pro and Noob. Check out Ionized Bastards. Check out Epic Confrontations, the Star Wars Trivia League run by Eli. And we are honored that you have joined us. May the Force be with you always, and for light
For light and life.
I'm back.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!
Coyote Mooney was a goddamn visionary, and none of you motherfuckers could see it.